welcome back to another episode of Point and Shoot, our show about basic photography. I'm your host, Susan Hagstrom, and today I'm really excited to have a new guest, Erin Thornton. Erin is the owner and principal photographer at Picture Perfect Studios, very conveniently located in the Hanover Mall in Hanover. So welcome and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Susan. I really am happy to be here today.
Good. I'm anxious to learn all about the services that you offer there, but first we'd like to hear from our guests a little bit about how you got your start in photography, what first interested you, what was your training like. So let's go back and tell us the story about how you got interested in photography.
It's actually a funny story. I was a little teeny bopper, about 16 years old, just roaming the mall, and went by a corporate portrait studio and saw all these people that were about my age, having lots of fun, making kids laugh. And it just intrigued me because I'd been with children since I was 12, being a babysitter.
Okay.
And it was just, I loved being with kids. I seemed to get along with them really well. So I went in and tried to apply for the job, but at the time they were using film. So because of OSHA's rules, I wasn't allowed to actually apply until I was 18.
Okay.
So I went, kept babysitting, and by the time I was 18, I was right back there.
Good.
And I applied for a job there, and I loved it. I really appreciated that I started with film instead of being in digital right away.
Okay.
It made me have more of an appreciation for photography. I'm not a big person of editing. I like to be more of what you see is what you get.
Okay.
And I think working with film at the beginning had a big impact with that kind of influence.
You have to be a little more precise. It's not quite as forgiving.
Yes, we had about a roll with nine pictures, if you rolled it correctly. And then from there, we'd have to get 5 or 6, different poses.
Wow.
No eye blinking,
Right.
Oh,
boy.
So yeah, the pressure was on, and it really kind of made me the person that I am today.
Good. So you really started with that hands-on training then?
Big time.
And how did you follow up with that? What led you to where you are today?
I ended up continuing to work for the corporate world for 10 years and pretty much self-taught myself. And then when it came to the point where I wanted to be more of a freestyle photographer, I looked more into my fellow photographers, spotting them, asking questions, reading a few books.
That's great advice for people, I think.
Oh, big time.
Who want to get into photography. I think that, I don't know if we've heard that before, but that's a really good tip, I think.
Yeah, I'm a more hands-on person. I don't absorb by reading a book. I absorb by being there in person, learning in the knowledge of other photographers.
And I have found that most photographers are very generous with their knowledge.
Absolutely.
It's not like, I've got a secret and I won't tell you. It's more like people are really interested in helping others and sharing that information.
Very willing to share secrets. Oh,
Yeah.
hey, maybe if you looked at this, you should try this. And oh, hey, and it's great because you bounce off different ideas.
Right.
And you just, even being maybe the underdog, I might actually teach, teach the other person something different and new. And that's the great world of being an artist and doing what we do.
For sure. And then now when did you open that studio and how did that come about?
So after being done in many different corporate studios, different locations, I kind of saw them spreading themselves a little thin.
Okay.
So I was a little worried about my job. So I kind of jumped ship, and I actually worked for printing for a while. So I was still in the arts world and using that side of my brain, but in a different aspect. And they all went bankrupt pretty much in March of 2013. At the time I was unemployed. And I was looking for something new to do. And I woke up one day, and I kid you not, and I put on a suit, and I walked into the Hanover Mall, and I asked questions, and I told them I was looking to be, real estate, wanted to be a photographer. At the time, there was no photographers, no portrait studios, so I kind of had the upper hand because the demand was there a little bit more for the supply.
Okay.
So I saw a few places. I walked into my studio, 2,000 square feet with beautiful hardwood floors and high ceilings, and just fell in love and knew that this was the place to be.
Okay.
So I went back in 30 days. I got a contract, started construction in August, and September 1st of 2013, we opened up my first studio, and hopefully not the one and only. I'm hoping to expand in the next few years.
Okay.
And that was my business plan from day one.
Okay. So that was kind of welcome back Cotter, right?
Yes.
You started out in the mall and then came back to the
Yeah,
mall.
I can't believe I'm back at the mall, but yes, exactly.
Okay, now I know we're going to direct people to your website so they can see your hours and all the services. You have quite a few services. What can you tell us about this range of services that you offer there?
I'm very lucky because I get a little best of both worlds. I have the studio, so that's talking about, set lights, different backgrounds, props, things like that. So from there in the studio, we do newborns, maternity, toddlers, families. Pets is a huge thing that we're really working on right now.
Okay.
I do sports, family, holidays, so as far as communions, birthdays, things like that. Then I kind of get the other side of the world when I get to do freelance. So not only am I owning the studio, but I also get to challenge myself more creativity. Why I get to do weddings.
Okay.
Weddings are fun, or bar mitzvahs and like family outings and reunions, things like that. And then this time of year, I'm not so popular in the studio, but more out on the beach, in people's parks and backyards, things like that.
So you provide both in studio and on location shoots.
Correct.
So that's pretty diverse.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
good.
And again, you never get bored because you never get the same thing,
Right.
in the same day, because it's always going to be changing. 2
Right.
kids, 3 kids, 5 kids, dog. You never know.
Okay. Now I know you have the convenience of the Hanover Mall location, so that's great. That's something that might set you apart from some other studios. What else would you say sets you apart from other local studios?
I would say definitely our exposure in the Hanover Mall has been a plus. Also, I take a lot of pride in our pricing. That we're very affordable, that we're not as competitive as far as pricing with our other customers.
Okay.
Our specials are a lot different as far as packaging and things like that. And also I provide a service that a lot of other people don't, is I bring in live animals and I incorporate those in my photo shoots, whether it's a holiday or just as a promotion.
Okay.
And then also just being a small business, it's all about personal experience.
Right. So I know you really pride yourself too on offering sort of a personal touch.
Yes.
And you've had repeat customers. What do you think that kind of personal touch that you offer means to your clients? I'm sure they've told you.
Oh yeah, they love when they walk in and I announce them by their first name. I think that takes them back at first, being, oh wow, I'm not just somebody. They actually remember who I am.
Right.
And then when they come back, I always challenge myself by looking at my last sitting that I had and making sure that I'm not giving them the same product and the same poses every time. I like to be creative. I want to make sure that they come in with a product that they know is going to be, all right, she's going to surprise me today. I can't wait to see what she comes up with.
Okay, good. Now let's talk a little bit about your ordering process. It's a little different maybe. There's no online ordering, and I know that was a conscious decision that you made sort of to protect both child, especially, maybe not so much if it's an older client, but for children and newborn photography, protecting them and the parents. Tell me a little bit about the decision that you made not to do online ordering, and then what is the process that people will do to get their prints and other products? It
was a big decision because I know from the customer's aspect, it's an inconvenience to them not being able to tell their family to go online and look at the pictures. I do offer them to come in at any time on the weekends at their convenience to share the pictures with their family. But it came down to the fact that I could sleep better knowing that my pictures and their children's pictures weren't floating around in some server or on, my cloud or whatever.
Okay.
It was more, came down to a security, knowing that, probably about 80% of my clients are smart children.
Right.
And you never know who's out there. And technology is a great thing, but it also can be a real negative.
Right.
And I just kind of want to prevent myself from having to deal with those issues and the security issues. And once I explain to the customers where I'm coming from, I haven't had any issues. People actually go, wow, I really appreciate you thinking that extra step to make sure that my kids are safe.
Good, so that's worked out well.
Yes.
Do you have any upcoming events or things we should know about?
This month we're doing free sittings for the month. Father's Day is coming up, so we're going to be doing an event there. I'm working with the mall as far as having a quarterly best pet contest, which is going to be displayed out on the big Route 53 sign, which is really exciting. And then also we have in the works in July, we're going to have a one-day event for pets. So we're hoping to have, different kinds of vendors. Obviously, I'll be there doing photography. I'm going to have a whole bag full of different props and make it fun. And then at the end of the day, we're going to also offer a grand prize for the winner.
Okay, good. All right, all that information you'll be able to get on the website. We're going to put up in just a minute at the break. You can follow up too with us here at HCAM if you want additional information. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take a closer look at some of Erin's work. We're going to see some samples of those work. You're going to see a lot of diversity that she has, and we're going to enjoy that photography. So stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to Point and Shoot. We're here today talking with the owner and photographer at Picture Perfect Studios. That's located in the Hanover Mall, and her name is Erin Thornton. And we've heard a little bit about how she got her start in photography. We've heard a little bit about the services that they have there at Picture Perfect. And now we're going to see some samples of her work so you can get an idea of what she's doing over there. So let's take a look. Okay, so here's you're talking about newborns. That's a wide variety right there, even when you're talking about newborns, some very simple, some with props. Was that all the same baby? No.
It actually is all the same baby.
It is, okay.
Yep, that's my baby model. I've been very blessed. I have some great clients that I've been taking pictures of them over the years, and they actually donate all of these wonderful crocheted outfits.
Oh my gosh.
So my collection has really been expanding, and since Pinterest and social media has really caught on, a lot of people want not just a regular posy picture. They want something candid, something cutesy, something that's a little bit more personal to the child. And as you can see, I mean, you go anywhere from the Cookie Monster to Oscar the Grouch to just a little, snail. It just adds to the photography and the personality. A big thing we've got going on the last few months is First Communions, and I have a blast with them. Nothing like little girls dressed up like little brides. And
so was this in your studio?
Yes, this was in my studio, yep. And when we have appointments like this, I always talk to the parent and make sure they bring in rosary beads and make sure that they bring in a Bible. Anything that's personal to the child, especially like new gifts that they may have gotten. Sometimes we usually have this before the actual First Communion or the day of. You never know. But it is something that is very popular in the studio. Maternity. We love starting with maternity.
Okay, and then you carry it through to...
Exactly, to newborns, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. So primarily maternity is kind of the ideal customer that is going to come back more than once, that you're going to make the biggest connection with as far as personal connection, knowing their name. Especially when they come in for maternity, it's a comfort level. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to come in and expose your stomach to someone, especially a stranger.
Now, was this in the studio?
Yes, this is in the studio.
Wow.
Yep,
one of our
more popular backdrops is barn board. All my poses my props are either wooden or metal. We go with a vintage look. Okay. Nothing plastic.
So I suppose in the studio there you can really control the lighting, the elements. That's something that works in your favor.
Absolutely, absolutely. Oh my gosh, this little cutie patootie. Between her hands being positioned where she is, her toes being curled, her outfit, she was just a peach. She looked like a little country girl she was just absolutely adorable. Totally, so much fun.
That's a nice natural smile.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, we get the overextended smiles, but the little giggles are what makes my job so exciting.
That's cute.
So going back to Pinterest, a lot of people are approaching me now more than usual with pictures that are on their phone saying, I want you to replicate this, I want you to replicate that.
Oh, wow.
And this was one of them that I had a senior portrait come in, and he gave me probably about 10 different Pinterests or ideas from online, and I loved it because they were all poses I never had really thought about. Were extremely challenging in the studio with the space of backdrops and lighting.
So how did you set this up?
I am on my back.
Okay.
I am laying on the ground.
But you really have everything in focus there.
Yep.
So
exactly. So I mean, I love my camera. I love my Rebel.
I didn't ask you about your gear. What do you use?
I'm using a Rebel SL1 for both personal use and for the studio.
That's Canon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, with an 18 to 55 millimeter lens.
Okay.
And I love it. I love it for personal use. It's light, it's easy, it's touch screen.
Oh.
Yeah, it's wonderful. My little handsome man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always a big fan of giving back to the community, especially to firefighters, police officers. We do offer a 20% off discount to any, to the military and all those wonderful people that have fought for our country. And I'm from a firefighter family. So I have all sorts of different kinds of props. It's actually a friend's hat that I have there,
Okay.
the real deal. And I just, like I said, I love giving back to the community and little stuff like that. It just makes, we get a lot of hits and likes on stuff like that on
That's
Facebook.
very good to know.
So obviously not just humans and families, we also do animals.
Okay.
And we do regular posy stuff, but I have all sorts of silly glasses and hats, and obviously you can see this guy was from Christmas time.
So you're doing all the things that they say are the hardest things to work with, right? Kids and pets.
Pretty much.
You're doing all those things.
And I love it because it's a challenge. I don't like boring sittings. I rather have the kid that is absolutely screaming that the parent comes in and says, I've never had a picture of this child. It's not possible. And then they walk out with a big smile on their face going,
That's funny.
Thank you.
Now here, I really like how it's just a plain white background. I don't know if it's paper or
vinyl.
Okay. But you don't see a lot of shadows,
Nope.
which is good.
Yep,
So
I have wonderful lighting.
Okay.
It's the Gemini, I think 3000 that I have both. So I have two on each side, and then I also have my main light.
Okay.
And with the animals, we only use the white vinyl background due to the safety of children with allergies.
Oh.
It's an easy cleanup, so we don't have to worry about fur
good to
and
know.
things like that. Yeah. Haha. So I love working with the Dance Association.
Okay.
It's a great way to be creative, having them do all their different, costumes and different poses.
So was this more than one person, or this is a composite?
This was actually a dance studio that came in for
Oh,
one day.
okay.
And I
Okay.
did about, 8 to 10 girls all at once.
okay.
And they did their different outfits. They did all sorts of poses, and everything was art. They actually have a bunch of my photography on their wall.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Haha. One of our most popular events for first birthday is the cake smash. And we always tell people if they're interested in the first birthday, it's always a huge popular hit.
Okay.
So what we do is we'll do formal pictures, but then we'll put a cake in front of the baby, and
geez.
we'll let them just go at it, and I'll just click, 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 click until the child usually is completely covered or screaming in tears.
Oh boy.
But it's a great experience.
Yeah, that is cute.
So obviously outside of the studio, we always do weddings. This was one of the ones I did this last year. One of my favorite weddings that we did on the hottest day that I've ever had in my life.
Like it's pretty sunny.
Yeah, it was extremely hot, but it was fun. Great couple. I was lucky to do their maternity pictures, their newborn pictures, so I'm hoping that they will be a customer for life.
Good.
So again, another thing that makes me different is obviously bringing in my own props as far as animals. So this was this Easter's event with a live animal, and last year we had baby chicks, and I'm hoping to work on baby goats later on this summer.
That's very cute. I like his hat.
Yeah, Mom put a lot of thought into his outfit, that's for sure. And then again, the beach scenes. We do anything, I'm a very creative person, so we do anything from formal stuff that's really nice with the lighting, but you always got to have some fun. Mm-hmm. So obviously,
So this is black and white.
Yes.
Right? Okay, so that's another technique you can employ for people if they want something different. That looks...
absolutely.
Portraits really are one of those things that frequently do look good and possibly more dramatic, black and white, so that's a great thing to remember too.
Absolutely. The bottom picture was their Christmas card, and I can't remember what they did with the top picture, but I mean, it was just fun. I mean, you can't, and that was right at the end, before I had them run into the water and was completely soaked.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's very cute. Well, good. I think we really got a great sample of images. I think people have a good idea about the wide variety of services you offer and things you can do. So thanks for bringing those pictures in. We are going to take one more short break, and when we come back, we're going to have a little demonstration Erin's going to give us a demonstration of the kind of thing that she does in her studio with some clients, and that's going to be interesting. We're going to learn maybe a little bit more about how to set up those lights, things you might even be able to do at home with your own camera and working with your own newborn or pet or young child. So stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get a hands-on demonstration. See you in a minute. Hey, welcome back to Point and Shoot. Here we are at the Hanover Mall. You probably recognize it. We're right outside Picture Perfect Studio, right in between Spencer Gifts and Working Gear. We're going to go inside. We've been talking on today's episode with Erin, who is the owner and primary photographer here at Picture Perfect Studios. We're going to go inside and we're going to talk with Erin about her space in there, and we're going to watch her in action with a client, see how she sets up her shoot and how she works with the client. So let's go inside, take a look. Hey, so here we are inside Picture Perfect Studios. We're back with Erin Thornton, the owner and operator of the studios. We're going to watch her in action, but first, tell us a little bit about this great space that you have here at the Hanover Mall.
Well, as you walk in, we have a great lounge for parents to be able to be comfortable and check in, and also have a separate area for the children to play so they entertain themselves until they're ready for their portrait.
Okay.
Then you'll go into our our editing room, where we'll edit the photos, and that's where we, in about 5 to 10 minutes, sit the customer down, and that day we'll view the pictures, order, make their purchase, and we'll have the pictures last in a week.
Oh, wow.
And then we have this great, beautiful space here in our camera room with built-in cabinets for all of our displays, which is all my favorite, hidden.
Okay.
And then we've got 2,000 square feet of just lots of fun.
Yeah, it's a great space, allows you to do quite a variety of things, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
So today we're going to watch a shoot, and tell us a little bit about your client today.
All right, so today I have my 2-year-old Matthew. He's been here on a regular basis, and he is just a cutie patootie with the biggest dimples that you can imagine and will completely melt your heart. So
Good.
I can't wait for you guys to meet him.
Makes your job easier. And just tell us a little bit about the setup that you have here in order to do the shoot.
So today I've got my Bowen 400s. I've got 2 on each side. They're going to be lighting my backdrop.
Okay.
But I also have this one here a little bit higher to do for my main photo, my main camera light. I'm also using my Rebel SL1 with my 18 to 55 millimeter lens.
Good portrait lens?
Yes, love it. It's easy. It's really good, especially with children, and really capturing them because, as you can imagine, and Matthew will show you, they don't sit still.
Okay, good. Okay, well, without further ado, let's take a look at Erin in action. Wow, that was a great demonstration of how to set up and then follow through with a photo shoot with a young child. I think she got a little bit of help from Matthew. He was awesome. He was primed and ready to go, did a great job smiling. But I think you could see how she had her, Erin had the props ready, she had the chair, she had the background, and she had the lighting. Put it all together and did a great photo shoot. She's already in the next room editing and going through photos with her clients. That's really fast service. They're already taking a look at the pictures, at the proofs. They'll probably go ahead and order some and then talk about setting up another appointment. So that's how it works here at Picture Perfect Studio in the Hanover Mall. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I hope you learned something about setting up a portrait shoot, about equipment that you would use, and I hope you get out there and take some of your own pictures, because remember, all you've got to do, just point and shoot.